This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
All right. Okay. Good evening and welcome to WSBI, your Resource for Success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring entrepreneurs and women-owned businesses from across the country. I am your host, Kimberly McLemore, President and CEO of the Women's Small Business Initiative, LLC, and award-winning author. And welcome to another night of sharing. With us, we have special guest, Natalie Montez. Natalie Montez is the creator of Extending the Vine and the owner of D'Vinyo By Montez. She has carved her own niche in the industry of wine, creating a unique and fun way to take the pressure off wine selecting, tasting, gifting, and even investing. Are you looking for the perfect wine to gift someone special? Looking for pairing recommendations for a special occasion? From the vine to your home and all the way to the office for corporate events, Natalie is taking her love of all things wine and extending the vine to you through the next level experiences and services straight from the vine. So without further ado, please help me welcome to my platform, Miss Natalie Montez. Hello, Natalie.
Hey, Kimberly. This is so exciting. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Now, you know, look, girl, we old friends.
I know. That's why this is always so much fun. Like, we get to talk about all kinds of different topics and share each other's knowledge. And I just love what you do on your platform. So I'm always excited when you have me on as a guest to actually, talk about something that I'm doing and, continue in those kinds of conversations because our community loves it and we love sharing to our communities.
Exactly. Because the things that, you've been doing here recently, you really are starting to rebranch out the business with D'Vinyo By Montez. And now you're going to be doing the Extending the Vine. But before we dive into this conversation, why don't you tell the listeners just a little bit more about who Natalie Montez really is?
Absolutely. I am a retired Air Force enlisted woman, career woman. So I retired in 2018. I'm a single mom of 2 beautiful babies. Daughter is 15 and my son is 5. So it is busy in my world, very busy. I do work full time as a program coordinator, but my passion, I have a heart for entrepreneurship, as you know, because we've been doing business ventures together for quite some time. And like you said, I'm rebranding and sort of branching out and figuring out where I want to go with my wine business, the D'Vinyo By Montez, which is the parent company, which is it's taking an amazing turn and route right now because it's more of a wine consulting and guide where I offer, wine recommendations, pairings, gifts, baskets, tastings, expanding into partnering with local wineries is one of my goals that I'm really wanting to pursue. Corporate events, helping people understand wine, navigate the aisles in the grocery store. But I want to have an extension of that. So that's where Extending the Vine is coming in. It's an opportunity for me to share my wine, the love I have for wine, my experience in wine and traveling all over the world in a fun, low-key way that is really conversational. It really opens up conversations and friendship and sharing, just me basically extending the vine. It can incorporate other conversations too, but it'll always be centered around wine. So that's really exciting what I have going forward.
Okay. All right. So like I said, you gave us some great information, but we're going to dive back just a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about your personal side of your career. And then let's talk and jump into how you really got into doing the wine, because when we originally met some years ago, and we were talking about this not too long ago, about how, my gosh, we were literally sitting in a nail shop and we happened to be sitting next to each other some 10, 15, over 10 years ago, and we just started talking. And when you originated with a lot of this, you were just kind of getting started and we started doing the wine tastings. But talk about what made you decide to get into this journey of wine? Because there's other things that you also enjoy, when it comes to the liqueur side, but the wine is what really has boosted you. So talk a little bit about that to the audience.
Wine has actually wrapped itself, I feel like I have wine vines, my veins are wine vines, basically. It's running inside of me. And it wasn't until really talking to you where you inspired me to really take my love of wine, my knowledge of wine, the way that I share wine. You kind of opened my eyes to that being a unique style and something I can actually turn into a business in a way that I help others understand wine and experience wine and taste wine. And so I started to kind of explore that and really take a step back and look at how I was presenting wine. And it was, I had some wine companies, they have different wine companies that come into your home and do tastings for you. I had a couple of those and I wanted to see how they operated. And I thought, you know what, I could do this and I could do it better and I can make it more personable, more accessible to people who really want to get into wine, but just it's intimidating. They don't know, or they are I just have to have something sweet, and really dive into what they're actually tasting, where this wine comes from, the grapes that are grown, the regions they're grown in, things like that. And I thought this was something that I'm passionate about and would come easily, naturally, and I can have fun with it and bring others along with me. So that's kind of where it started, where it came from. And then with your encouragement and our teaming up together, I was able to kind of carve out a path for this to become a business and to get my name out there and to really share with others. And it kind of was big. People were all about it. Even investors were this is a great idea. Let's do this,
Right.
So, but I realized though that, with it, the way that it was when I started, the thought was just wine tastings in the home, but it needed to be more. It needed to be bigger. It needed to expand, because, we're not all throwing parties every night of the week.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we need to have this be something different. Yeah. So that's where the rebranding is coming in now, but that's when it started.
Yeah. And thank you, for, the acknowledgement. And I don't really think that I did much, but I just realized that after talking with you and being around you, and then, we had some of those wine tasting parties at my condo some years ago, and, just seeing how you've elevated, and then I would come to your home and you were having those wine parties and stuff, and the knowledge that would come out of your mouth was just incredible to me. And the reason why I said is it's not like you went to, some type of school and learned about wines and all that type of stuff. You have literally have brought in the knowledge you have. It's all self-taught, if I'm correct about that. Because I don't, I just find that incredible, because when there's somebody who's self-taught and the way that you do it, I mean, I'm just man, where's she getting all this information from? But you literally can take a glass of wine. You could talk about how the stems come down on the wine. You could talk about what the smell of it is and what's in it. The average person, we all know when we're doing wine tastings, we just like the taste, right?
Right. It escapes most people. Yes, it escapes most people.
Exactly. And the thing that I always love to hear you say is that the thing that you teach people when we're drinking wine is that everybody's palate is different. And then, then the biggest thing is we're having a party in our mouth, right? Because
yes, it's a party in your mouth, and I want to give that to everybody. Yes.
Exactly.
One of the things too is that one of the reasons why I avoided kind of going down the path of certifications, which I still think certifications are helpful. And I do love reading about wine and, learning new things and all of that all the time. But we all have different knowledge and to share in gifts that we bring to others and that we either serve with, provide to the community and the world around us. And I have found one that I can share with the community, that I can share my passion and actually give people an opportunity to hone in on what they are tasting and their experience of wine. Because if you tell me that you're tasting, old leather shoes, I'm not going to tell you don't taste old leather shoes.
Right.
But
right,
I can
exactly.
I can tell you why you might taste that, or where that earthy taste is coming from, the terroir that the grape was grown in and the vines are in, and I can help you understand. And then you so this is the region of wine that I love. And when you go into the grocery store, you can purchase wines from that region and have more, stress-free shopping and be excited about what you're buying and know how to gift wine to others and stuff like that. So it's really exciting to just have your own, experience.
Right. And you're absolutely right. And that's the key, is that you have learned that.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do meaningful work every day. You get to be the biker who codes as fast as he rides, crafting advanced tech solutions that transform car buying. Or a guitarist who develops harmonious apps and websites, connecting people and businesses, all in real time. A savvy soccer mom running solution sets as passionately as she runs gameplays. Be the super secret keeper, designing cybersecurity systems to protect private data and websites. A planet protector, expanding EV battery life and inventing more ways to build a better future for all. When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do career-defining work that solves the greatest problems of our time. Join us and connect to work that improves lives, including yours. Learn more about our family of businesses at cox.career/tech.
It's their experience, and that you're not going to tell somebody, oh no, this is what you're really tasting. Because I have been to some wine tasting because I enjoy wine, and realize that, oh my gosh, this person's over here telling me, well, this is really what you're tasting. No, that's not what I'm tasting. Because there are some wines I'd be like, no, there's no way in hell I'm going to drink this because it's nasty to me, right? But there's some people who will tell you that you're literally bonkers. Is that, no, this isn't nasty, this is good. No, it's not good to me because it's too dry. I'm not a dry wine drinker, right? So it's having those experiences, and you're honing in and realizing and telling people that it's okay. And then let's talk about what you are tasting, what you're feeling, what are you smelling, and then learning that, okay, so if this is what your desire is, that when you're purchasing these bottles of wine, you'll know what to look for. And that's the other key. Right. So let's talk about the fact how we, some people really get anxiety, and I can tell you I've been one of those. When you're in a store and you walk and especially you're in a store where it's nothing but wine, I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Right. How am I going to figure this out? Talk a little bit about your experience with that and how you help individuals with that process.
Well, I'll start by saying, I have actually been able to, I'll say, convert people from thinking that they only like sweet reds or sweet whites, or something like that. Because once we start to talking and tasting together and sharing and really putting your mind on what you're tasting, you're telling me what you're tasting, I'm telling you what I'm tasting, it changes the whole experience and you appreciate what you're drinking more. So it expands your palate. It expands your desire to try new bottles. So when I go to a store and I know okay, I'm shopping either for myself or somebody that I know only likes a specific kind of grape, I will start with a region. Start with a region that I know has less dry, a little bit sweet, but there's a balance in between, and I'll get a couple of those so that they can compare. And that is how you start to expand the palate of others and help them expand what they are so used to drinking, get out of their comfort zone, go into other stuff. I've turned people from only loving white wines to also loving red wines. But there's a balance. You don't have to go to the extreme all the way to the super heavy dries, like the big boys, like the Cabs and the Merlots, you know, or the Syrahs. You can stick with a Pinot Noir. You can stick with a Carmenere grape. You can stick with, you know, certain things like that. So knowing who my customers are, knowing what their experience is, you know, building that relationship is how I can guide them to not only just what they are used to, but to expanding. And so to answer your question, when I go into a store, I start with the region. If I'm like, you know what, I really want to try South African wines, let me go to the South African region and look at what they have for whites, for blushes, for everything in between to reds, you know. So yes, starting with the region is how I go.
Right. And that's important to know because, like you said, most of us, when we go into a store, I'm not going to be looking for no region. I'm just going to be like, okay, this is the wine that I've tried before, and I really like it. And I can say, though, that since we have known each other throughout the years, I was originally just a white wine drinker. And then I do love my sparkling white wines, but then I started to roll over more into the red. I really used to hate red because people would not show me that there was so many different options of red. So I'm more of a semi-sweet red lover. That's kind of my thing. But because I've had the experience and being able to work with you and realizing, you know, when we're doing some of these tastings, just among ourselves, is that my palate has definitely changed in understanding that I can still enjoy this one wine, but there's so many others that, you know, we've been able to, you know, really partake on. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now when I'm out for an evening, or if I'm doing something in my home and, you know, we have our own little wine refrigerator. So I could be like, I can pull out that wine and be like, okay, I know what I'm talking about now, because I've had some experience and been trained, you know, somewhat.
Exactly. Your palate is, you know, expanding. What do you think about wine and meals? Do you typically choose your wine first or your meal, or you have a menu ready and then choose the wine?
Well, I used to be one of those people where it was like, okay, I was told, well, you can only have this red wine with beef, or you can only have white wine with, you know, the chicken or fish. And I had to get away from that because I want wine when I want it, right? So I have learned that when I'm drinking wine, I prefer to just go get the bottle and I pair it with, I eat it with whatever meal I have. I've kind of taken that experience and just not feeling like I had to limit myself in order to enjoy a glass of wine.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I had, and I've learned that though from you, because I realized that when we started doing as we continue to work together, we've been doing a lot more tastings and understanding of, you know, why this particular wine tastes good. It's like here recently we've done, you know, wine with chocolates and, you know, things like that, pairing it in a way that I would have never thought about pairing, because in my mind it would have been like, well, why would I do this? Because it's too sweet. That is the untruth, you know, but you don't know that until you have that experience. So, and talk a little bit about, talk a little bit more about those experiences, about how well you can certainly pair in a way that, you know, most people wouldn't even think about.
Yeah, that's another really important aspect of what I am trying to accomplish here is myth busting when it comes to wines and when you can drink them, when you should and shouldn't, what meals to have them with. Because I can tell you that I love a Pinot Noir with anything I eat, a good Pinot Noir. But you don't have to only have reds with, you know, heavy meals and dark meat, and you don't have to only have white wine with fish and light pastas and things like that. You can have whatever you want. The thing to really consider is get the wine you want and then make an eclectic meal, like have an array of things, because the wine does enhance, the food also enhances the wine, but you can end up clashing things, like we talked about when we were talking about the wine and chocolate pairing, for example. Depending on the bitterness of what you're eating, if you're eating something super acidic, then you don't want a super bitter wine. So, but if you're going middle of the road and you have a balanced wine across the colors, if you will, then it doesn't matter what kind of wine you have as long as you enjoy it with what you're eating. So I think, you know, when you are able to collect wines that you like and have it in the wine fridge, and you can say, oh, I'm having this tonight, I feel like grabbing this one, and you can grab that, you know. So yes, I definitely want to share open up people's minds, share the freedom in the wine experience, because you don't have to follow traditional rules, you know, in drinking wine. This is your world, and literally, like, sipping wine should take you around the world. That's how I feel. You open a bottle and you explore that region. And I think that is like heavenly to me. It's just so exciting.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It puts you in a whole different perspective and a whole different mood, whatever that glass of wine is that you're experiencing at that moment. And like I said, you know, we definitely have been doing a lot more of that, because it allows us to share that with our audiences. And, you know, when we're doing the live videos, and we've done several of them here recently, because we really want people to explore the true experience and what you can do with a good glass of wine. And, you know, here recently we've the one thing I would definitely want you to talk about is that dessert wine. If you remember the name, right now I can't think of the top of my head, because I have never experienced a dessert wine that we had that day when we were doing some more tastings here in the house. We were doing the cooking and the tasting, and it just amazed me how good a dessert wine that was. I even stole it from you, because I was like, you're not gonna get to take this back home. So do you remember? I know. I was like, I'm like, what is the name of that dessert wine?
So good.
Oh my gosh! But it just
I have the list of our favorites and my favorites, and that is definitely high on the list for a dessert wine. It's a French wine. I cannot pronounce the name of it right now if I don't have it in front of me. But it was so delicious because of how smooth it was, and it was mildly sweet. So it was a dessert wine that wasn't like a port. It wasn't like a super sweet, it wasn't a dessert itself, but it paired so well with the dessert, you know, and that you could actually have a sip of that, like have a glass of that, not a full wine glass, but a dessert glass, as an aperitif, you know, like as a nightcap. It is that good. So it's not like you're having something that's overloaded with sugar. It is, you could tell that the natural sugars from the way that they process dessert wines was just flowing through that whole bottle. And it had like a golden amber kind of color. It was just delicious. I'll have to get you the name of it so we can put it maybe in the show notes or something.
Yeah, but I was just trying to look at the information. It's like, if I'm pronouncing it, Le Dorate dessert wine. It's Luduirat, Le Dorate, or something like that. But yeah, I will never forget that. Yeah. I will never forget the taste of that. And it's not that hard. It's literally at your local, you know, well, for us here, it was at Wegmans, but, you know, you can get those locally. So it's not like you have to order it from France directly or something. So it does take some guidance sometimes to point you to these extra special bottles. And that's where I am hoping to come in and serve the community and build my business around, you know, recommendations, guidance, tastings, education, talks, gift baskets, you know, providing just a wine service. And I'm working on, you know, even getting my license to sort of transport bottles so that I can.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do meaningful work every day. You get to be the biker who codes as fast as he rides, crafting advanced tech solutions that transform car buying. Or a guitarist who develops harmonious apps and websites, connecting people to people and businesses, all in real time. A savvy soccer mom running solution sets as passionately as she runs gameplays. Be the super secret keeper, designing cybersecurity systems to protect private data and websites. A planet protector, expanding EV battery life, and inventing more ways to build a better future for all. When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do career-defining work that solves the greatest problems of our time. Join us and connect to work that improves lives, including yours. Learn more about our family of businesses at cox.career/tech.
Bring wines from local wineries in the area into the home, because we don't all live right next to a winery. We can't just be there all the time drinking their deliciousness.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're right, and that's the key is, I think a lot of times, people they constantly recreate the wheel, and there's obviously different methods and ways that a lot of people are starting to have their own names on the bottles of wine. But, and that's great. And I think that's, something that we'd even talked about at one point. But what I've also realized and learned that there is so much out there that just taking the opportunity to learn, like you said, the different regions and all those types of things that you can experience in life that you don't even think about it. I mean, especially if you really enjoy a good bottle of wine, that it doesn't have to always be the most expensive, let alone have to be, something that somebody just constantly recommends. Just like it's no different than when I think about having champagne. To me, some of the most expensive champagne is the most nastiest champagne I've ever had. And only because my palate doesn't like that. You know what I mean? It's
right.
And it's the different styles of champagnes that that you can experience. So it's really truly knowing who you are, and that's what you teach people is that you have to know who you are in order to know what to experience, how to experience that, and when it comes to a glass of wine. And then you also talk a little bit about your expertise. You do have some background and expertise in other liqueurs, so talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yes, I am a Scotch girl through and through. I love my Scotch whiskey. It is delicious, and there's so many to try from, so many flavors, so many, profiles that span the whiskey and spirit spectrum, and I am obsessed with it. I really want to visit all of the 5 Scotch regions in Scotland, but I have loved learning over the years the difference in the blends that come from each region in Scotland. So I am definitely into the cigar Scotch vibe and teaching about that and the nose of the caramel and the raisins and all the notes that come along with distilling Scotch whiskey. It's phenomenal. It's fascinating and it's delicious. Okay.
And we've heard that word a million times. Delicious. Y'all hearing this? Not just good, but delicious.
I know. Yes, it is. I mean, it is. And so I really just want to, there's not everybody is going to be interested in diving in and doing this education and learning about the regions and the terroir and all these things. But that's why, having someone with a service like what I'm offering can help do that work for you, point you in the right direction and take away the guessing game and all of the overwhelm and everything like that, because I have, a backlog of options for different palates and things like that could really help people out in a bind or if they just want to get to know more. But I'm also happy to take someone down a journey of educating them on Scotch, on wine, putting together events, parties where, I come and do a tasting, say a little bit about the tool you use to taste the wine and the Scotch. There's even various glasses that work better for the right Scotch, or the right whiskey. Exactly. It's just, it can be involved, but it's so much fun for me that I'm looking forward to really, helping more and more people get comfortable with it and not be as intimidated.
Yeah, because the other thing that we recently experienced that you had introduced me and Angela to was that vermouth. Oh my goodness. I'm
that's
telling you
up and
guys,
coming. That's coming back.
That's what you were saying, and
that's a specialty that is coming back into Virginia wines. Basically, after Prohibition, that was wiped out, of course, like a lot of other things. But this is seriously making a comeback. And so local wineries are putting their creativity behind making this. And the one I brought for you guys was from Afton Mountain in Charlottesville, in the wine country down there. And it's just Flying Fox Winery. If you guys ever get a chance to get out there, you've got to get out there. They've got some amazing stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, that vermouth, I had never heard of a vermouth, and like I said, it's definitely making a comeback. But you talking about something special. It was not your typical drink that where you just had to drink it in one way. And I think that was the thing that we all really enjoyed, that we talked about. It can be used as a cocktail. You can add something to it, or you can just sip on it. I mean, so there were so many things that just stood out that was very exciting about, like you said, that party in our mouths. But we were really having a party that day.
Yes, I know. And it's so much fun. I love exposing people to new things that they never would have thought to try,
and this is the reason why, like I said, it's not just about having a wine tasting at a home. It's really truly about educating people, because as you continue to educate them, they will know what works best for them. And I think that's the most beautiful part about your business, is that it's more than just, here's a bottle of wine, enjoy it and keep moving. Having D'Vinyo by Montez is an absolute pleasure. But also talk a little bit more now. You have this new Extending the Vine. So Extending the Vine is going to be a new podcast or a vlogcast series. Talk a little bit more about that for everybody.
So Extending the Vine is going to be a YouTube channel where I have periodic videos on wine topics, wine education that literally expands the vine. And this is my way of extending my knowledge, my expertise, my recommendations, suggestions, and fun topics surrounding wine. Even stuff like what to do with wine that you've let go bad. You can make, you can dye clothes or make tie-dye. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff with it.
Wow.
So I want to just have all kinds of fun topics that we talk about on short, videos, and make it fun, and also have guests occasionally where we can really get into a specific wine. We might just talk about a specific label, a specific winery, a specific type of wine, like a Pinot Noir or Cabernet, or we might, generalize, open it up, or talk about a country, or, we don't talk a lot about wines from Greece. We don't talk about a lot. So there's just so much out there that I think this is going to be an amazing way to reach people, to share knowledge, to open people's eyes on it, to send them out into the wine world and dabble a little bit and enjoy themselves and see how, they say wine is good for the heart, but I say it's good for the soul, because it brings people together, and we, in a community, and, girlfriends, all kinds of friends, having wine together, families, it's at the dinner table, so yeah, that's what Extending the Vine is. And I'm excited to kind of launch it and get it off the bench and start having some fun.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I'm going to be like, push, I'm going to be like, pushing you in the background. Come on now. We need to see all these great things, because there's so much knowledge there, and so much information that you just talked about that is going to be fantastic for everyone to learn about, and will push you and elevate you in a way that you deserve to be pushed to. But before we get to the end here, because we're getting close to the end, Natalie and I have something else special we're going to be presenting to everybody. So we know that people love and enjoy the drinking and the selecting of wines, but Natalie and I got something special be coming out here in May that we'll be discussing, and it's about what? Natalie, you want to tell everybody just a tidbit of it? We're not going to dive into it too much.
Okay, this is so exciting. So the other element to what we're doing is bringing the idea of investing in wine investing. This is going to be so exciting. It's going to be like mind-blowing for so many people, because I had before I learned about it a few months ago when we started on this journey, I hadn't really heard any talk about investing in wine, really.
Right.
And wine has, withstood the market fluctuations. It's a great place to invest in wine and learn about wine and be among, other wine lovers and in a wine community. And so, yeah, we're going to be bringing that, and I think that's going to be an excellent add to our, what we already bring to our community, and people are just going to be like chomping at the bit to learn more about that.
There you go. Exactly. And the thing that we have learned, it's been almost a year since we really kind of dived into it, is that we have definitely learned that it's not something that's normal and has been building here in the United States. Investing has been very well received overseas, but the U.S. is really starting to pick up on it probably in the last 5 to 10 years. So, this is always a great time to get on board. And I think the big thing that we're looking at is, as we continue to go on this path and teaching people to understand that, investing in you can be done in so many different formalities. And this is I won't get too into it more, but we're going to be teaching people about, really understanding, and especially our focus is always with women, but the understanding of long-term investments, but doing it in a different format, in a different way. So you guys look out for that, that coming out soon. It will be in May. Yes. So just kind of keep your eyes and, and your ears open, and realizing that this will be coming up soon, that we'll be having this discussion, and we'll have a very special guest with us as well, as we do talk about wine investing. So I just wanted to kind of open that up and get people prepared for it, because we have been so excited about this, about doing this and getting prepared. This has been a long
time coming.
Exactly. So so we're excited about it, and having, and the beauty about it is that having the knowledge that we have, with Natalie here being a part of this, and then mixing, all of our business savviness between the two of us, it has become something that's just been explosive. And like I say, we're continuing to grow, we're continuing to learn as well. But it's time to start sharing this information and, teaching people how to jump on board, and we're going to help you all get there. So like I said, we are here at the end of the show, but before we go, please, Natalie, tell everybody if you have anything special coming up that you want to discuss, as well as how they can reach out to you.
Well, I would just say to look out, because I will be starting to launch these Extending the Vine shows here in the next couple of weeks. My website will be published by the end of this weekend, I'm hoping, and then I will be sending that out. But I will have to right now I'll have to just put something out in the show notes for the website and the YouTube video and all of that they can just click on, and we'll go from there.
Right. But right now, there's definitely a few videos out there that we've done recently. So, please go and support her. Like Natalie said, there will definitely be some information in the show notes so that you can see the direction that, how this business is continuing to grow and the things that we're doing together, but also not so much just about me. It's more about what Natalie truly can show you, her expertise and what she does, and how beneficial it is to have somebody who does have this knowledge, because as we said, we don't want you run up and down aisles and you're just spending money just to spend it and not really understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Correct.
The next thing you know, like
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
But it's true. Just like you said, there may be a particular wine that somebody buys and they just, no matter what we say or how they feel, they just don't particularly care for. But how great to know that you can take that wine and you can cook with it, or you can do something else with it, so you're really not wasting. So those are the things that you bring to the table, and I think, like I said, everybody's gonna be truly excited about it, and I can't wait to see more as we continue to go through this journey together as well. But
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But like I said, it's always a pleasure having you on my show.
Yes.
And we have some other things coming down the pipe. So y'all just keep your eyes and ears, because I'm telling you, we got a lot of changes.
This is so exciting. Exciting times, guys. Exciting times.
Exactly. So again, like I said, thank you for coming on the show. You go and enjoy the rest of your evening and go do what you do.
That's right. I'm going to get after it.
Well, all right then. Again, like I said, thank you for coming on tonight. And for everyone else, I hope that you have learned something today with about Natalie Montez, as the creator of Extending the Vine and the owner of D'Vinyo By Montez. I'm telling you, she has carved out definitely a niche in the industry of wine. So, but in order for you to learn more about this, like I said, we will have the show notes available for you, so that you can get in touch with Natalie. And if you need some help, you can get in touch with me, as well. And you can find me, reach out to me at Kimberly at WSBILC@gmail.com, and let's have a chat. And also, if you're looking to get yourself where you need to be, my specialty in life is teaching you how to use your voice, whether it's in a podcast, whether it's in doing a YouTube show, whether it's writing a book, all those things. And I want to also express for those who, I want to say thank you to, for those who voted for me, that the Women's Small Business Initiative was second place winner of Business of the Year here in the Woodbridge community through Alignable. So that was pretty exciting for us to know. So, hey, we do know a little bit about what we're doing over here. So, if you're willing to want to have that chat, you have to be serious about how you can take your passion and turn it into something very valuable. You need to know who you are. But if you need help to get over that hump, please reach out to me. Let's have a chat about your dreams and turn them into goals. And of course, if you want more of your resource for success, we do accept monetary donations to support the podcast. We accept them through Cash App, PayPal, Good Pods, Tip Jar, or you can go directly to the website at www.wsbilc.com. Again, we would like to thank you all for listening to us tonight. We will be back next week with more amazing guests. Be sure to follow us on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcast. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening and good night.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do meaningful work every day. You get to be the biker who codes as fast as he rides, crafting advanced tech solutions that transform car buying. Or a guitarist who develops harmonious apps and websites, connecting people to people and businesses, all in real time. A savvy soccer mom running solution sets as passionately as she runs gameplays. Be the super secret keeper, designing cybersecurity systems to protect private data and websites. A planet protector, expanding EV battery life and inventing more ways to build a better future for all. When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do career-defining work that solves the greatest problems of our time. Join us and connect to work that improves lives, including yours. Learn more about our family of businesses at cox.career/tech.